Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me wherever you are joining me. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. If you're joining me on the YouTube channel, make sure that you like, make sure that you subscribe. We always appreciate it. We are heading towards 3,000. Still got a ways to go, but we're in it to win it. This thing isn't easy on YouTube. It's hard to break through with so many different entities out there. But when you love what you're doing and you're having fun with what you're doing, it kind of makes the rest of it go away, and you're just able to enjoy what you're doing just for the sake of doing it. With that, it's interesting. I used to live in Ohio. Shout out to the now defunct Urbana University where I used to coach at. But I stayed in Ohio, and I remember being in Ohio, and everybody was an Ohio State fan. There were no Cincinnati fans. Everybody was an Ohio State fan. I remember that specifically because when it came to the NFL, you had a lot of people who rep the Browns. But not a ton of people who rep the Cincinnati Bengals. There were some, and because I was closer to Cincinnati than I was to Cleveland, I went to a few games with Cincinnati fans. They had a nice, Cincinnati loyal fan base. Turnouts for the games were good. When I lived in Massachusetts, I never heard of one Cincinnati Bengal fan. When I lived in Maine, never once heard of or seen a Cincinnati Bengal fan. I lived in Arkansas, same thing. Florida, same thing. Georgia, same thing. I've been to Louisiana. A lot of who dat, not a lot of who they. So imagine my surprise over yesterday, when all of a sudden out of the woodwork popped a ton of Cincinnati Bengals fans. Now, do I think that there are Bengals fans from Cincinnati, in the Cincinnati area, from Ohio, that are just pounding their chest more in public right now than they have been before? Yeah. But the Cincinnati Bengal fan base is not a national fan base. So hearing people or seeing people, right, or watching posts from people who don't live anywhere near Cincinnati, and I mean more than I'm comfortable with, because I know they didn't exist before they went on this magical run. And make no mistake about it, it's a magical run. They're not supposed to be here. We can say what we want, and we can extol Joe Burrow for how good he is. And we do, trust me. Joe Burrow gets more burn in my friend group, in the group of guys that I consider to be guys who really know this stuff, who really understand this game. Joe Burrow gets more burn than any quarterback not named Patrick Mahomes. And right now, probably getting more burn than Patrick Mahomes. But if we really looked at it, Joe Burrow hasn't been like his A+ self with his execution. What he's been A+ in is weathering adversity. He's been A+ in weathering adversity, but not A+ with his actual game. His game has not been A+. But everything kind of gets thrown together when you win, and the quarterback gets the credit even when the quarterback doesn't deserve the credit. Nobody's really talking heavy about the Cincinnati Bengal defense, which they should, because the defense is the reason they're here. That defense shut down that Las Vegas Raiders team. That defense shut down that Tennessee Titans offense. That defense shut down in the second half the best quarterback on the planet with a 4x100 team out there to run. Were there some self-inflicted wounds by Kansas City? Absolutely. But that defense did it. But I was just shocked by all of these Kansas City fans. I mean, not Kansas City fans, excuse me, Cincinnati fans. And it started me thinking. I remember when the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl. And all of a sudden, a bunch of Kansas City fans popped up. Nothing was worse than watching as all of a sudden my beloved Bucks went from being people that I knew who didn't care about the Bucks to all of a sudden them being the biggest Bucks fans in the history of the world. Why? Because they won the Super Bowl. I remember when ticket sales, back when the Bucks won the Super Bowl the first time, where ticket sales had like a 10,000 person wait list in order to get season tickets. And then after a couple years, when we started to stink again, it went back down and you can get season tickets. And they were begging for people to buy season tickets. Pretty sure that season ticket list was super long again. We'll find out if Tom Brady retires, if that season ticket list goes back to being, hey, you want some tickets here? Come over here, get some tickets. See, it's a rite of passage every year, almost every season, that whatever the team is, when that team breaks through, that all of a sudden their fan base grows exponentially. I've never liked it because I'm not with that. I'm not really with that bandwagon life. Somebody asked me in the grocery store last night. I had my Bucks jacket on, still do right now. And somebody asked me in the grocery store last night, "Oh, you're a Bucks fan?" Yeah, Bucks. Oh, well, who are you rooting for now? The Bucks. There's no jumping ship. Once the ship goes down, we go down with the ship. That's how it's supposed to be if we're talking as fans. Oh, man, I really like Joe Burrow, so I'm rooting for the Bengals. Okay, cool, I guess. You can root for him. You better not put no Joe Burrow jersey on unless you are a Cincinnati Bengals fan. And even then, if you're a guy, come on, man, you're grown up. So, like, I don't get it. Like, I guess I have to go back to the old head default. I'm built different. And I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not the only one that's built differently. I know I'm not the only one that feels like when your team loses, that's it. You're done. You enjoy the games for the games. You don't enjoy the games to root for a team that's not your team. It's not how we get down. It's not a good look, as they would say. It's a bad look. Of course it's a bad look. It's a bad look. Why wouldn't it be a bad look? Think about it. So, trying to remember these things when you're looking around and you see, all of these people who are now repping a particular team or organization that they haven't been on from the beginning, I would say show them a little grace. I would say that, hey, show them a little grace. But no, don't do that. Don't show them a little grace. Don't give them some flack. Don't give them some rest. Don't lay off of them. Let them know that they're phony. Let them know that they're phony. Because if you see people who all of a sudden are a fan of a team that they haven't been a fan of before, it's two things that happen. Either they were embarrassed to be fans of that team, and so they didn't let anybody know, or they just jumped on the bandwagon right now. And while it's always okay to become a new fan of a team, don't be out there capping like you've been there from the beginning. Make it known that you're a new fan, and then I'll respect you. Hey, welcome. New fan, welcome. Make sure you stay. Because more often than not, your team will end the season with a loss. And if the Cincinnati Bengals don't get it done in the Super Bowl, which, by the way, I think is going to be difficult, they apparently cannot block anybody up front in the passing game, and they're going against the Rams, who have all the pass rushers in the world. So as I'm discussing this and thinking about this game over the next 2 weeks, right now as we stand right this instant, I'm leaning towards Rams. But that doesn't take anything away from the season for the Bengals. And so if you're a Bengals fan, enjoy it. And if you're coming to become a new fan, if you're a new Bengals fan, just say, hey, I'm a new fan. And then we'll appreciate it. But if you come out beating your chest, like all of a sudden you're here. Yo, I'm here now. I'm Bengals. Who they? Nah, man. We don't believe you. You need more people. At the end of the day, this fandom thing can be taken seriously or it can be taken lightly. Don't try to play in both pools because one, you're going to drown. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. We do this thing a few times a week. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. If you're joining me on the YouTube channel, you know what to do. Like and subscribe. Until next time, peace.